Dude, YouTube, I made it back. I don't know how I made it back, but I made it back. It's been 5 weeks and I've been all over Europe, kind of all over the north end of Europe, a handful of different countries, visiting different friends, riding, some family stuff, and I even on the way back went into the East Coast where we actually did shows, and now I'm finally back home in Minneapolis, and I'm very excited because it is officially summer, and we have an insane summer planned for the next, seriously, like 17, this even goes into the fall. The next 17 weeks are packed with different BMX events and things going on, including X Games. I've got an entire schedule, basically a whole tour of the entire summer right here. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's going on right here, right now. Here's the shot. So, we're back here, Minneapolis. Feels great, seriously. Incredible trip. Quick, give you a little rundown here. I actually started in Russia, and we filmed Little Pros Russia, a handful of kids over there. Unreal. From there, I actually headed to Norway, did a bit of a family trip, which kind of this whole trip was actually based around. Which, by the way, when you're flying overseas, if you want to go to any other countries, it's like $50 to $100 and you go to a new country. Like, so when I travel, I always try to add a little bit before the trip and a little extra to the end of the trip, and then you get this big epic trip. So, more on that later. Anyways, Norway, also met up with Ola BMX, Benedicta, Johannes, and we filmed some epic stuff in Norway. So very excited for that one. Also stopped in Sweden and Denmark. What was that? Amsterdam, Netherlands, and then actually headed over to the UK and spent about a week over there. So I stayed with Steve Murray, brought the boys Seth Mason up to Scotland, Unit 23, and revisited all the kids, and from our most popular YouTube video yet. It's right around 7 million views right now, so that one just unreal. So I wanted to go and check in with these kids again, and so there's a few that aren't riding, and then there's a handful that are just absolutely killing it, and you won't even believe some of the freaking footage. So shout out to everyone at Unit 23. We had an absolute blast out there, and so then drove back down, really drove from Scotland all the way down to the south of the UK, and checked out the shop with Matt and TBMX, and hung out in the south of England for a few days, and then headed back overseas. So it was really interesting because as we get into summer, we get into our show season, and all the shows we do around here all happen during the summer. So it's funny because on the way back to America, I actually stopped in New York City and New Jersey because there was a show that ASA was doing, basically another show company I do shows for, and it was at a Six Flags. So that actually kicked off my summer in New Jersey doing shows, and we actually stopped at Scotty's Park as well, and saw some of the riders out there. So now we're back in Minneapolis, and I've got our whole schedule right here. We're gonna start right from the top. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. It's already June. We just did a show. Literally the next 17 weeks, 17 weekends are completely booked. My summer's just gone. It's awesome and it's not awesome. Like, it's just unreal. So there's a few events that kind of led up to now earlier in the year. We did our first winter event at a hotel, the Explore Minnesota convention, and then we had Lucky Palooza in St. Paul in March, and it was like 30 degrees. And so those got kind of interesting, a little early in the year in Minnesota. While I was gone, there was one event, kind of almost like think of it as a kind of a little kickoff to May and the nice weather. It's actually an ice cream social at a school, Rice Lake Elementary, so we're back out there. And now everything starting now moving forward is like our official summer season. So we get into Little Falls, which actually just happened yesterday, and we've got the brand new camera and everything rolling, so I'm gonna be filming and documenting the whole summer, all the fun, crazy stuff that happens during show season. And then next weekend, this upcoming next weekend, I'm very excited for this one because I used to do these shows for probably nearly 10 years, and then they kind of went away for about 6 or 7 years up until now. Next weekend, I'm very excited to tell you we're gonna be back at Elko Speedway. Eve of Destruction coming in hot once again next weekend and the following weekend actually. So June 24th and July 1st as well. So that's just gonna be nuts. It's such a chaotic event with cars crashing into each other and school bus races and trailer races. Like, it's nuts. So we're very excited to be doing shows out there again. Then we get into 4th of July. That just a few days later, it's on a Tuesday this year actually, Eden Prairie 4th of July, another annual event we do. It took me years to actually book that event. It's in my hometown, and it's very special because it's the only one every year where we put 2 box jumps side by side called dueling box jumps, and you can actually transfer between the 2 and ride either box jump. It's a 6-footer and a 7-footer. They're just massive. So that will be coming up as well. Then we get into, now this is just nuts that this is even happening. July 15th and 16th, Saturday and Sunday, is X Games. Okay, X Games right here in Minneapolis, and a lot of the local parks, the local shops, and just the local action sports scene around here is all coming together, and we're doing a local action sports block party during X Games. And so it's just kind of another place to go and hang out and something to do. Third Layer is going to be doing shows. We're going to have our big box jump out there, and the ATV guys are going to be doing the ATV shows as well. So a lot going on that weekend. Very excited. The 19th, Rice County Fair is actually going to be a grandstand show on the evening down there. Then we get into end of July into early August, and this is always the busiest time of the summer. Sometimes we're double booked, sometimes we're triple booked. That means 2 different show teams going to different events, possibly even 3. So end of July, 28th and 29th, Wright County Fair. August 1st, August 2nd, August 3rd, for the first time ever, we're going up to St. Cloud, Dallas Light's hometown. A little rock star up there is going to be at Benton County Fair. Then we get into, that's up to the 3rd, the 4th and 5th and 6th, we're at Washington County Fair. Also on the 5th, we're at Clunker Funk Bike Fest up north. That's a brand new one. And then on the 6th, also double book. This is where it just gets nuts. Meeker County Fair. So it's like, it's nuts trying to like manage all this. So then we get into August 10th, 11th, 12th, Lyon County Fair, back out there again. And August 12th, there's another double booking, Elko Speedway. So we'll be back at Elko as well. So then summer, we get into the Minnesota State Fair with Third Layer. This is a very exciting year for me out there. This is actually my 15th year in a row at the Minnesota State Fair. It's nuts to even think about that. The first year I ever did shows, I was, what, 16 years old, and that was really like the start of all this. And it's just, I don't know, it's nuts to think about going back for 15 years now at the Minnesota State Fair. This year, I'm very excited to have more Ride Minnesota product, and we've got some insane stuff. This is a brand new sample right now, our purple Ride right here. And there's also the ATV Big Air Tour going on this summer. I'll be doing just about all those as well. I know I'll be in Wisconsin, we'll also be in Indiana, where we've got a special guest, Brett Banasewicz. Mad Dog's actually coming out and riding in the ATV Big Air Tour in South Bend, Indiana. So I just heard from the crew from the kitchen. There's so much cool stuff going on this summer. All right, so after the Minnesota State Fair, we've got Heritage Days and PennFest at in Bloomington and Richfield in September 16th and 17th, and that's kind of our end of season finale. We love doing that weekend of shows. And the very last one is with Penn Cycle, who's been very supportive over the years. So that's kind of our celebration last show of the year for the factory. So that's what's going on right now. Summer is going to be absolutely insane. So thank you to all the riders. I'm very excited for a epic summer together with all of you guys. And there's a ton of riders in town that have moved back home, and we've got just a dialed crew this year. So I'm very excited. The show is gonna just be absolutely nuts. And the best part is Jeff is announcing, JMC is announcing, and I am actually gonna be riding literally every single show this year. So I'm so excited to be just back on the bike, because that's the reason I'm here. I grew up riding bikes, and that's the reason all this stuff is even around, because I absolutely love riding, and all the people I've met have always kept me interested in riding, and it's gonna be great to just be riding in the shows again. So anyways, if you have any questions, please let me know. Leave a comment. If you got any topics you wanna talk about, or any questions, or you're trying to learn different things or whatever. I know it's summer. I'm sure everyone's off school right now, so I wanna wish you guys a great summer. And if I was gonna tell you one thing, like thinking back, like, man, you know, when I was let out of school and I had a whole summer open, like, what would I do? Would I get bored? Like, what would I do? And I think back and I'm like, man, going in the backyard or going down into the woods or a few blocks away, digging trails, bringing a shovel and building trails. I mean, I spent years and years just building dirt jumps. That's why I'm a box jump rider. I love riding park, and that's what eventually led to the factory and a big indoor box jump, and now our big outdoor show box booters. Like, I grew up digging and building dirt jumps. So any kids that are at home, that's what I suggest. Go this summer, just find an area and just start building some dirt jumps, you know? I guarantee you will love it. So many great experiences, just you and maybe your brother or some friends or whoever it is. You'll have an absolute blast just going and grabbing a shovel and digging. I really miss that. I would love to go to some of the trails and help dig. Even as of now, I would just absolutely love to. Schedules are a bit chaotic, and you know, we're keeping things running at basically we do all these shows to keep the factory running, because 3/4 of all the people basically just left the factory. Like it's chopped liver, just sitting there. And so we got to do what we need to do to make sure that place stays around. And so we've spent a lot of time putting together this schedule of events, and people who want to help support the factory. So this is what we're doing this summer. Yeah, it's gonna be definitely an exciting summer. So this is 15 years of doing shows now. I'm freaking pumped. So get out and ride, have a great summer. We'll see you guys soon. Boom, baby.